God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My beloved child, open your heart and listen to me with the full sensitivity of your soul, for something powerful is moving from the heavens directly toward you." Nothing you lived through in these past weeks escaped my eyes. Every weight, every pressure, every silent tear was seen and embraced by my Spirit, who sustained you even when you believed you were walking alone. I tell you, there is an open breach in the spiritual realm, and within it your steps have been placed by my own hand, for this is a time of supernatural movement that breaks limitations, heals old wounds, and restores the authority the enemy tried to erase. Do you feel ready for a profound change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes all it takes is a small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and the blessings that I have already reserved for you. A simple 1-minute prayer can become the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the inner world and reflects in the outer one. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, spiritual and material, click on the link in the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, that will help you connect more deeply with my presence in your life. The storm that surrounded you was not meant to destroy you, but to announce the unfolding of a new cycle, the cycle of spiritual harvest that begins within you before manifesting around you. Do not fear what you do not yet understand, for I walk ahead of you, opening doors and aligning everything with my purpose. Remember my eternal promise. Jesus answered, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." John chapter 14 verse 6. Stand firm in this truth, my child, for what I have prepared for you is closer than you imagine, and nothing will be able to stop what is about to be released over your life. Comment: I believe God is opening a new season in my life. You felt the weight of waiting, and in many moments you believed that the miracle was taking longer than necessary. The enemy whispered in your most fragile hours, telling you that you would not see financial restoration, that important doors would remain closed, that what is rightfully yours would never reach your hands. But I tell you, my child, none of those voices had authority over your destiny. They were only empty echoes, desperate attempts to hinder your advancement. The pressure in your mind was not a sign of abandonment, but the last push from one who knew he was about to lose control over your story. While you looked at overdue bills, I looked at the complete plan. While you feared not being able to pay something, I was preparing the atmosphere around you to elevate you beyond anything you have ever experienced. Nothing is outside of my dominion, and nothing that belongs to you will be stolen, withheld, or blocked for longer than I allow for your growth. What seemed to you the peak of the battle is, in truth, the turning point, the place where your endurance becomes spiritual authority, where your pain becomes strength, and where what seemed distant begins to manifest in accelerated, surprising, supernatural ways. Comment: I trust in God's faithfulness over my finances. My child, remember what is written, "My God shall supply all your needs according to His glorious riches in Christ Jesus." Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. I did not create you for scarcity. I created you to govern with purpose, vision, and authority. The lack you faced was not punishment, it was training to expand your capacity to receive, steward, and honor what I am bringing into your hands. There are spiritual and material treasures that were hidden, waiting for the exact moment to be revealed, and that moment approaches with irresistible force. I have decrees released over your life, decrees that no demon, no human intention, no negative energy, and no physical delay can stop, because what I establish in heaven no one can revoke on earth. When someone touches what I have prepared for you, they touch what belongs to me, and I am a consuming fire against every injustice that rises up. Do not fear the blockages, they are already falling. Do not fear the closed doors, I am opening greater portals. Do not fear losing, I am the God who multiplies and turns little into abundance. What is coming will not be a small relief, but overflowing, unexpected, complete grace. Declare with faith, God is my inexhaustible source. You have been pressured inside and out, and I saw when discouragement almost settled in your spirit, when your thoughts became clouded with doubt and your soul asked silently, will it really happen? Will the promise God gave me still come to pass? And I answer you now, with authority and love, my child, none of my promises expire. Not a single word I have spoken over your life falls to the ground. Delay was never denial, it was alignment, preparation, and inner strengthening. The enemy tried to exhaust you, to drain your emotional strength, to convince you that you were unworthy, to make you give up right before the harvest, but I molded you to withstand battles that would crush many. I fed you with my spirit to break through walls that seemed unbreakable. I sustained you with my hand to cross valleys that intimidate even giants. The intensity of your recent battles was not a sign of defeat, but proof of the greatness of what I am about to deliver to you, because only great battles precede extraordinary victories, and only intense pressure precedes precious oil. Now declare with faith and spiritual power, I will not give up, God is with me. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My beloved son, remember what is written, though the fig tree does not blossom, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. Habakkuk chapter 3 verses 17 and 18. When resources failed you, I was teaching you to trust beyond what your eyes could measure. When direction was unclear, I whispered spiritual intuitions into the depths of your spirit. When peace escaped your thoughts, my presence wrapped around you, calming what seemed impossible to quiet. Nothing truly lacked, because I was there, supplying in invisible ways what you could not yet perceive. You thought you were standing alone, but I carried you during the heaviest moments, lifting burdens you didn't have strength to hold. You assumed my silence meant absence, but my silence was deep work, delicate, precise, aligning connections, adjusting circumstances, moving obstacles you would never overcome in the natural realm. Son, You have no idea how many battles I fought behind the curtain so that today you would stand stronger, wiser, and more spiritually awake. Your faith matured. Your discernment sharpened. Your inner vision expanded like never before. Now speak in faith, Iusei ke deus nunca me daiksu. And now, son, I want you to understand something profound. What you called loss was never destruction but redirection. Do not waste energy grieving what left your life, for nothing that is truly yours ever slips from my hands. I allowed certain cycles to close because they could not carry the weight of the honor I am preparing to place upon you. I closed certain doors because they would keep you living beneath the purpose written for your destiny. I removed certain relationships, alliances, and paths because they were too small for the greatness that was coming. Was the process painful? Yes, but necessary. Was the pressure uncomfortable? Yes, but essential. What you interpreted as failure was actually preparation, an inner rebirth. The olive only releases oil when pressed. Gold only shines when refined by fire. And you, my son, only ascended spiritually because you were deeply shaped. Now there is new authority flowing through you, authority to govern what once wounded you, to manage what was previously denied, and to receive what has now been released. Declare with conviction, Estoy listo para lo nuevo que Dios está trayendo. Son, listen to my voice, fear not, for I am with you, be not dismayed, for I am your God, I will strengthen you and I will help you. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. You were attacked in the financial area because the enemy knew this area would one day become a testimony of my glory through your life. He tried to suffocate your courage, to touch the very place that hurts, to make you question who you are. But you are mine. You are chosen. You are marked by my Spirit. And everything that was delayed, I am now accelerating. Everything that was blocked, I am releasing. Everything that was held back unjustly, I am exposing and redesigning. Resources are on their way. Answers are coming from places you never imagined. Restitution is already in progress. This is not imagination, not exaggeration, not empty hope. This is the unfolding of a divine decree spoken over your destiny. Lift your voice and declare, Dios es mi proveedor y mi defensor. I have prepared a table for you, and you will not sit at it as a weary survivor, but as someone who finally understands his divine identity. You were never called to live off crumbs. You were called to carry authority, to walk with the assurance of someone chosen, separated, and anointed for greater things. I did not create you to merely survive, but to prosper in spirit, purpose, and abundance. I gave you spiritual vision not to make you fearful, but to sharpen your discernment so you could see beyond the surface. I placed inner strength within you not only to help you endure, but to empower you to conquer territories that few have the courage to approach. What is coming your way is not only financial provision, it is repositioning, elevation, and expansion. I am expanding your sight, stretching your capacity, and aligning your steps with environments where your presence will matter and your voice will carry weight. There is nothing random in what I am doing. My purpose is woven into every movement, every shift, every divine detail. And when I open paths for you, no one, absolutely no one, can close them. Declare it now. I receive God's purpose and direction. My beloved son, listen closely to what my word declares. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126 verse 5. Every night you cried without knowing how to move forward. I was gathering your tears as precious seeds of future victory. Every moment of despair that brushed your heart, I transformed into hidden strength. Every fear that tried to cripple your courage, I reshaped into bravery. None of your pain was wasted, none. The waiting seasoned your character, shaping endurance into maturity. The battles expanded your spiritual vision, enabling you to see beyond temporary circumstances. The pressure purified your faith, stripping away doubt and awakening deeper trust. And now I tell you, with divine certainty, the season of harvest has arrived. And this harvest will not be small or ordinary. It will encompass emotional healing, financial stability, new opportunities, professional doors, aligned connections, deep relief, renewed identity, and grace overflowing in every direction. So remain in me until the end of this process, because nothing and no one can stop what has already begun. The restlessness that tried to steal your peace is being lifted from your chest at this very moment. The feeling of abandonment falls to the ground, because I have never left your side, not for a second. While you worried, I was moving pieces into position. While you felt anxious, I was opening invisible paths. While you remained silent, I fought battles on your behalf. Now breathe, my son. The new cycle has opened. The gate stands wide, the provision has been released, the honor has been written, and the victory has already been decreed. Walk forward with confidence, because this is the time when you will see with your own eyes what you once only dared to dream. Listen closely, my beloved child, for every word now whispered into your spirit carries the weight of destiny. Nothing that you have lived, nothing that has pressed against you, nothing that has drained your strength has escaped my eyes. Every moment that felt like loss, every opportunity that slipped through your fingers, every door that seemed sealed was, in verdad, a seed I allowed to fall into the soil of your journey. Seeds never disappear. Seeds die to multiply. What looked like the end was only the beginning of a greater unfolding. What seemed stolen is returning to you in multiplied form, opportunities aligned to your purpose, resources that were divinely preserved, connections that carry weight, ideas that will open paths you never imagined. The blockages you enfrentaced are dissolving. What stood unmoving is flowing again. What looked like a distant utopia is crystallizing into reality. When I decree that something belongs to you, no authority on earth or in the spiritual realm can interfere. You felt the weight of spiritual resistance because you were protecting something immense. This was not about something small. The pressure increased because the blessing is great, because the plan is majestic, because you carry a destiny that irritates those who cannot stand to see you occupy the place I prepared for you. Now let truth rise within your soul like a wind that lifts what had fallen asleep. Nothing will remain blocked. Nothing will remain withheld. Nothing will slip away from your hands. What belongs to you is being released in the spiritual realm. You will see financial resources emerging from unexpected places. You will see projects taking shape with clarity and stability. Doors that once felt sealed shut will open with such ease that you will know my fingerprint is upon them. People you never expected will appear to bless you. Contracts will form out of nowhere. Help will arrive without you calling. Paths you never considered will unfold in front of your feet. This is not luck. This is divine design. This is not coincidence. This is my promise being fulfilled. When I bless, no force can revoke it. When I send provision, it always finds the way. I am lifting you in ways that no one can reverse. Feel your mind being renewed. Thoughts of unworthiness and insufficiency are dissolving from within you. The heaviness you carried is breaking apart. The pressure of feeling behind or incomplete is being washed by my truth. You do not prosper because of personal merit. You prosper because I have equipped you, appointed you, covered you, and set you apart. You do not advance because of your own force but because my grace moves through you. I know your internal battles. I know the comparisons that wounded you. I know the moments you looked around and believed everyone was progressing except you. I was not punishing you. I was preparing you to receive without losing your essence, to prosper without straying from me, to grow without letting pride distort your heart. Now your mindset will be molded for abundance. You will begin to see opportunities where once you saw walls. You will recognize possibilities where others see limitations. You will find exits where others see endings. You will sow with intentionality and harvest in abundance. You will speak life and watch prosperity blossom. You will advance without fear because I am the one guiding your steps. Nothing that was denied was a loss, it was protection. Nothing that was delayed was failure, it was alignment. Nothing that slipped from your hands left my plan, it was simply too small for the greatness I am preparing for you. I give you discernment to know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to sow and when to reap, when to advance and when to rest. I grant you lightness to carry responsibilities that once overwhelmed you. I place upon you an anointing to prosper without carrying weights that never belonged to you. Anxiety is dissolving into my rest. Insecurity is bowing to my authority. You do not walk alone. You walk covered, guided, defended, and sustained by me. Those who saw you exhausted will see you restored. Those who saw you struggling will see you overflow. Those who doubted you will witness with their own eyes what I am bringing to pass. What I release over your life touches more than your financial story. True prosperity begins in the heart, awakens the mind, reshapes behavior, and transforms everything around you. You will have peace to think clearly, health to continue your journey, wisdom to make decisions, courage to act, and favor to conquer. You will break old cycles, rise above patterns that once held your family lineage back, and make choices that will impact future generations. What I pour into you is not a temporary fix, but a permanent transformation. I give you not only the resource but the capacity to multiply, to govern, and to honor. Nothing I send to your hands will be wasted, because I am strengthening you to manage what I entrust to you with excellence. Your financial story is shifting. Your posture is changing. Your voice carries new authority. Your faith expands. Nothing will obstruct the flow of blessings that I have released. If anyone attempts to hinder it, they will stumble. If they speak against you, their words will fall empty. If they desire your downfall, they will be confused. What I am doing in your life does not depend on human approval. I am elevating you before observers who once underestimated you, and I am doing it so that my glory may be seen, not for pride, but for purpose. You were prepared in silence, shaped in pressure, refined in waiting, and now you are being positioned. The transformation unfolding now is deeper than anything you have experienced. You will no longer question whether you are ready, for you will feel in your spirit that readiness has been birthed within you. The strength you once sought externally is rising from your inner being. The clarity you longed for is aligning your vision. The confidence you thought was lost is being re-established. You will no longer interpret setbacks as signs of abandonment but as stages of expansion. You will not fear sudden shifts, because you will recognize that change is the language of new levels. You will not doubt when I move quickly, because your heart will already be prepared for acceleration. What seemed unpredictable will now feel guided. What felt fragile will now feel anchored. I am not only blessing you outwardly, I am rebuilding you inwardly so that nothing can remove what I am establishing. Walk forward with assurance. The ground beneath you is firm, not because circumstances are perfect, but because my hand sustains you. Doors will open. Ideas will awaken. Strategies will come. Provision will flow. Help will arrive. Honor will follow you. But above all, my presence will go before you, overshadow you, and guard what is yours. This is the beginning of a new era in your story. You are stepping into what was reserved for you, into what was preserved for the right moment, into what your spirit always knew was coming. Nothing will stop what I have set in motion. Nothing will interrupt what I have destined. Nothing will silence what I have spoken. You are rising, advancing, expanding, and entering the fullness of what I have prepared. The time has come. The shift is here. And everything that now unfolds in your life will testify that my hand never left you, that my promise never expired, and that my purpose is being fulfilled in you with power, abundance, and glory. Walk now with the confidence of someone who knows that heaven is completely on his side. Speak with the faith of one who has been called. Rise with the conviction of one who has been anointed. When heaven decides, nothing on earth can stop it. Do you remember those days when you closed your eyes searching for an answer, a direction, a way out? Do you remember those nights when your heart beat strongly between hope and fear, between the faith that held you and the uncertainty that unsettled you? I saw it all, my child. I heard every silent word that never left your lips but came from your soul. While you placed your hand on your forehead trying to find a solution, I placed my hand over your life and whispered, "Resist. I know exactly what I am doing." And now the moment has arrived when what was only faith will begin to turn into a living and tangible reality before your eyes. What once seemed unreachable will begin to move toward you, not by human strength, but by my divine intervention. There are miracles born in an instant, but there are also miracles I build with time, depth, and detail. These are not just answers. They are eternal markers in your story. The finances that seemed blocked, the paths that tried to close, the processes that looked stuck, the answers that never came, everything will begin to align like a heavenly puzzle that was once scattered but now fits together with such supernatural perfection that you will know it could not have been human work. You will see the impossible bow before your faith. You will see doors that never existed open before you. People who once ignored your requests will now seek you to offer what they previously denied you. Situations that seemed definitive will be reversed with such surprising ease that even you will stand in awe. I do this not to elevate you selfishly, but to show that no one who walks with me is left in shame. I do not abandon, I prepare. I do not reject, I protect. I do not take away, I transform. My child, what you have lived was not abandonment, it was training. It was not indifference, it was refinement. It was not punishment, it was strengthening. Every attack against your financial, emotional, and spiritual life was a desperate attempt to interrupt what I was building in you. But no one can halt a work that comes from my heart. From now on, you will not look at your accounts with fear, because fear no longer governs you. You will look with authority, knowing that I am your provider. You will no longer think about the future with anxiety, because anxiety has no power where revelation exists. I am already releasing supernatural favor over your relationships, your opportunities, your decisions, and your steps. The right people will appear, not by coincidence, but because I have sent them. Ideas will arrive with clarity, like light turning on in a dark room. Paths will become obvious, without confusion, because when I place my hand, even the most difficult roads become easy to walk. Nothing will be able to stop your prosperity in this new season opening before you. I go ahead of you, adjusting every invisible detail, tearing down barriers you could not identify, breaking ancient chains, and canceling locks that kept areas of your life stagnant. I am revoking contrary words spoken over you, annulling decrees that did not belong to your destiny. This transformation that begins in your spirit will not stop there. It will manifest in your mind, your body, your relationships, your finances, and every space where life exists. You will not experience only economic relief, you will experience fullness. My purpose is not to give you only a partial victory, but a complete restoration that embraces who you are, what you have, what you dream, and even what you have not yet dared to imagine. The clarity I send will be like a lamp that illuminates not only what you must do, but what you must avoid. I will show you not only business opportunities, but which alliances lead you to your purpose and which ones divert you from it. This prosperity you are about to experience will not be superficial, it will be deep and firm. It will be the fruit of the wisdom you gained in the nights you cried, in the days you resisted, in the moments you doubted yet kept moving forward. Prosperity without wisdom fades, prosperity with understanding becomes legacy. And I did not call you to a moment of abundance, but to a legacy of impact. I am building something in you that will affect your home, your family, your emotional health, your way of thinking, and the way you relate to the world. What I am raising in you will not be temporary, it will be a solid structure. Sometimes I allow the wind to blow strongly, but that wind that frightened you was the same wind removing what no longer had a place in your future. Nothing that left will be missed. Nothing that became empty will remain empty. What was removed only made space for what now comes with purpose, weight, and glory. My child, this is not just a moment of victory, it is a stage of secure growth. It is not an emotional peak that disappears tomorrow, it is a spiritual construction that will transform you from the inside out. I am grounding your character, strengthening your discernment, expanding your vision. I am preparing you to manage blessing without losing yourself, to prosper without forgetting who sustained you, to grow without letting your heart drift. What I place in your hands will not be temporary, it will be stable, continuous, and firm. This new season will be marked by divine connections, accurate decisions, opportunities that flow without human effort, and a level of peace you have never experienced before. Anxiety will have no territory in you, because now you understand that your life is upheld by hands that have never trembled. And while I finish setting in order what is invisible to manifest it in the visible, you will feel an inner strength you never knew, a silent courage that only rises in those who walked through storms and did not break. You will begin to perceive that everything had a purpose, that nothing was accidental, that even what hurt was a tool. You will rise with a new gaze, a gaze full of light, direction, and certainty. You will notice that you no longer react the same, that you no longer collapse before what once made you tremble. You do not return to the starting point, you ascend. No one stopped you, you were simply being prepared. And now, my child, prepare yourself too, because what comes is growth, honor, expansion, and fulfillment. What comes is abundant provision, steady peace, aligned relationships, and a sense of purpose so strong that it will be impossible to ignore. My beloved child, receive this word as the seal of a cycle that ends and the dawn of one completely new. Nothing I promise remains unfinished, nothing I begin ends in failure. What you are about to live will not be coincidence, it will be fulfillment. It will not be luck, it will be purpose. It will not be chance, it will be destiny. Now rest in my presence, breathe deeply, and feel the path opening before you. For I, your God, have spoken, and when I speak, the entire universe aligns. I am lifting you into a new dimension of understanding, a new level of identity, where you no longer see yourself as someone limited by what you lived, but as someone expanded by what I am doing right now. The transformation that has begun inside you touches your self-worth, your perception, your emotional strength, your spiritual posture, and even the way you understand resources and financial flow. The way you once looked at money, with fear, hesitation, or tension, will no longer define you. You will not be dominated by what you have or what you lack. You will dominate the resources I place in your hands with wisdom, vision, and purpose. You are not merely a container meant to survive. You are a channel through which abundance flows, a bridge through which provision reaches places it could never reach without you. And because you remained firm in moments where others would have given up, you will be a living testimony that I honor the one who perseveres, I lift the one who trusts, and I restore the one who, even in weariness, refused to let go of my hand. There will be people who look at you and ask, how was such change possible? And your answer will be simple and solid, it was God. It was not human influence, it was not luck, it was not coincidence, it was not a recommendation or a strategic move, it was divine intervention, a fulfilled promise, a heavenly door opened wide. And although there will still be days with challenges, you will not face them as someone fragile, but as someone rebuilt internally, strengthened in spirit, sustained by a renewed emotional structure that will allow you to face without desperation what once seemed impossible to carry. As you read these words, the sensation within you is already shifting. The internal weight that used to tighten your chest, that fog that sometimes blurred your thoughts, that invisible pressure that drenched your mind in exhaustion, everything begins to evaporate. You are breathing differently because the prison of worry is breaking off of your life. You can feel your shoulders lighten, your voice gaining strength, your thoughts gaining clarity. Hope is awakening inside you like someone who suddenly remembers that the sun still rises. Your steps are becoming firm again because no one who walks under my light remains lost in shadows. I am giving you new ideas, strategies that were hidden until now, solutions that were waiting for your spirit to quiet down enough to hear them. You will make decisions you once postponed out of fear, and you will see doors opening not by force, but by alignment. Opportunities that would make others panic or hesitate will become platforms for you to advance, because I have changed the atmosphere around you. Joy will return without asking for permission, your dreams will recover their colors, and that spark in your eyes that time tried to extinguish is regaining its shine because I am breathing life into you. Nothing remains stagnant when I decide to move. Nothing remains small when I decide to expand. Nothing remains closed when I decide to open. And I have decided to open paths before you. It was not your strength, it was not your resume, it was not your influence. It was my grace, grace that sustains, grace that lifts, grace that multiplies, honors, and surprises, and this grace now covers you like a mantle. While you continue to listen, let your soul rest in the certainty that your future is already in my hands, shaped with precision and love. What once seemed complicated will become clear, what once seemed distant will draw near, and what once seemed impossible will become visible before your eyes. You will not walk by appearances but by faith. you will no longer seek human validation because you have already been validated by me. You will not live in emotional or material scarcity because I have destined you for fullness, not lack. If you have recognized this truth within you, let your lips confirm it in your spirit. Keep breathing this peace that surrounds you now, because it is the unmistakable sign that you are under my care. Prosperity, not only financial, but emotional, spiritual, and relational, has already begun to flow toward you. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to